Hello, anatomy friends. This is Dr. Alsop, and in this video, we will be discussing the wonderful world of the composition of bony extracellular matrix. And we will be working through two learning objectives. Hopefully, this first one will be a review, and then the bulk of our time is really going to fall on this second learning objective focused on the organic and the inorganic components of bone. So let's get right into it. All right. So let's pause for a second. Which of the major tissue types is bone? So is it epithelium? Is it nervous tissue? Is it connective tissue? Or is it muscle? Well, of course, it is connective tissue. It says so right here, but hopefully we remember that from earlier videos. Remember, connective tissues are quite varied, and it's actually that's the actual most abundant type of tissue throughout the body. So tendons, ligaments, cartilage, blood, and then of course bone are all connective tissues. And so connective tissue is going to be characterized by having a relatively abundant extracellular matrix with cells occupying considerably less space. And so this is certainly true of bone. Bony extracellular matrix is going to be a composite material, meaning it is a combination of two basic structural materials, and then that combination that occurs in the extracellular matrix will combine to allow for optimal mechanical properties of each of the components. So it's taking the best parts of those components in order to serve the function of bone. And in the most basic terms, these structural materials can be characterized as organic and inorganic. The organic component, as we should recall from the bone cell lecture, is secreted by osteoblasts, and it's going to be composed mostly of collagen. So put some stars and some hearts next to collagen here. Collagen is actually the most abundant protein in the body. There is other organic material as outlined in this flow chart over on the right, but collagen is really the most important one, and it's the only one that you're going to be responsible for. Collagen will form a framework within the extracellular matrix, and the inorganic component will fill in the spaces and eventually calcify or harden, but it won't do that without the organic component. It must be there first to initiate the calcification process. And all of this organic stuff is really important in terms of providing the tensile strength of the bone. The inorganic component is composed of various crystallized mineral salts, which are primarily, but not exclusively, calcium mineral salts, such as calcium phosphate and calcium hydroxide. And these will combine to form hydroxyapatite complex, which is often what you hear as what really composes the inorganic portion. Now, these minerals will be deposited in that extracellular matrix as soon as that collagen framework is set up. These will crystallize, they will harden, and this is what is causing the hardness and the rigidity in bone. Now, important clinically is that it is this inorganic component of bone that will show up in radiographs. In fact, bones need to be around 50% mineralized in order for it to actually be visible. Cartilage and bony precursors don't show up as well radiographically. As I mentioned, the inorganic components of the extracellular matrix are going to confer that hardness. I don't need you to memorize these numbers, but I do want you to realize that in general, there's a bit more of that or inorganic component than the organic, but the proportions really aren't too far off. And don't forget that all important water, it makes up some of this extracellular matrix, but that shouldn't be too surprising to us as Homo sapiens. Water's a big part of our body. Now, the inorganic components, that's what's conferring this hardness and rigidity. Whereas the collagen and the organic components, that's going to allow for the all-important flexibility. And it may sound bad when you think about a bone being flexible, And if it is too flexible, that certainly is, such as what can occur in rickets and osteomalacia. But some flexibility is very necessary to infer that tensile strength and combat bone fragility and brittleness. All right, excellent. We have reached the practice question, and this should be very fresh in your mind. Which component of bone is primarily responsible for flexibility and tensile strength? Pause the video and come up with your answer. And when you're ready, let's discuss how B, or collagen, is going to be the correct answer. Recall, collagen makes up the majority of the organic components of the bony extracellular matrix, and it is that organic part that is the most important in tensile strength and necessary flexibility of bone. Calcium mineral salts are the bulk of the inorganic component, and this plays an important role in strength and rigidity, but not flexibility. And then similarly, hydroxyapatite, that is going to be that complex formed by these calcium mineral salts, the combination of those. So that's inorganic as well. Osteoclasts, not such a great distractor. It is the cell concerned with bone resorption, and while it is very important in terms of bone homeostasis, it doesn't really fit best with this question. All right, thank you so much for your time and attention, and please reach out if you have any questions.